Welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to share with you how I'm making the Swahili style lemon pickles, and I've got about 2 dozens of freshly ripe lemons that are yellow, and we are going to soak this in hot water for about 15 to 20 minutes. In the meantime, I'm washing my red hot peppers, and you could use any type of peppers. Just make sure that they're nice and red. They give that nice beautiful color. And then you're going to wipe them completely. We do not want to have any traces of water in pickles or preservatives. All right, so I'm going to blend this into a nice fine paste, thick paste, and I'm using a blender. So you can also use a food processor or pestle and mortar, which does not require any liquid. But for blender, you do need some liquid. So I've also used some garlic, fresh garlic, and some lemon juice. There's no specific amount. It depends on how your blender works. All right, so the water is cool enough now, and I'm ready to get my lemons out, and we are going to also wipe them nicely to make sure there are no traces of water in this as well. The reason why we soak it in hot water is to remove that bitterness. So when your pickle is ready, it's nice, tangy, and hot, but not bitter. So my lemons, as you can see, they are nice and dry, clean and dry. And just going to remove the little pimple there, as I call it. And you want to slice it down, not all the way, into 4 quarters. But if you want it loose, you can keep it loose, but I prefer to keep my lemon intact like this. All right, and we're going to do all of them just like that. So here's my chili paste, and here's my lemon juice, about a cup. You could need more or less. And I'll be using turmeric powder as well as red chili powder. These are both optional. If you want to use some type of masala, please go ahead and do it. All right. So now we are going to put the paste in between the lemon wedges. And if this is your first time, I would advise you to wear some gloves, because this thing is some serious mess over here. Okay, so you're just going to place it in your jar. You could use plastic or glass. I prefer to use glass all the time. And we're going to do the second one. This is a very simple pickle. You just have to make sure all your utensils and your hands are completely dry. That's the most important thing, all right? So we're going to go ahead and do all of them. Fill them all up with the chili paste. And once you're done with the first layer, I went ahead and added some salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon, and then sprinkled some turmeric powder and the red chili powder, and then add some extra chili paste. And then we're going to layer the rest of the lemons and repeat the process. Now this is it's served with rice, pilau, our green bananas, muhogo, anything that you fancy with. So now we're going to fill this up with the lemon juice. I started with 1 cup. It depends on the jar, the size of the jar that you're using. You could use more, you could use less. You just want to make sure that all the lemons are submerged with the juice, all right, in the juice rather. Okay, so I end up adding more, and you're going to keep this out in the sun for about a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It depends how hot the sun is where you're at. So with the 2 dozens, I made 2 jars. Now after 3 weeks, they were ready, I think, in 2 weeks' time, but I just didn't have time to do the video. And so we're going to see sometimes the liquid evaporates, so you may need to add more lemon juice and also some salt if you want to. So you don't have to wait for 2 weeks to 3 weeks. You can do that in between. But since I didn't have time, I'm going to do it at this point. And I needed to add more salt. So this was ready, actually, and I want to show you how nice and soft, but I wouldn't advise you to touch this with your hand unless your hands are really, really dry, which mine were. And I just wanted to show you how nice and soft this is. So this is ready to be consumed. But since I added the salt, I wanted to keep it for 2 more days. So I kept it out for 2 more days in the sun. And I want to show you the final results, which was not much difference, but I feel that the sauce was more thicker. As you can see, my mouth is watering. Oh my God. You see how beautiful this is. So that's about it, and you can serve this and keep it in the refrigerator, or you keep it out, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you do not use any wet utensils in this. So thank you so much. I really want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for bearing my long silence, but I had to change premises. I'm in a different country. It took me longer than I expected to settle down, but all is well. And a lot of you had asked me this, I think 3 or 4 years ago, but I could not do it. The sun in Houston was not hot enough during summer. Anyway, thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar. You'll find all the ingredients and measurements in the description box below and on this page.